Now we have a very peculiar spear type of thing going on, but... I think you're probably right, Marcus. This is the beauty of what we were doing, is that let's just take a look at it. Oh, see, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool the way that looks. I don't know. Right? So we're gonna get like there's something about making this really unwieldy that feels weirdly great. Also, in the potentially controversial space, triple swipe I changed to be actually a triple swipe. But yeah, I think we need to lessen the number. But there was something fun about trying the scattershot approach. But yeah, so triple swipe now has 3 distinct things. I have found that this is a huge nerf to triple swipe. I'm not sure that's a bad thing. I think triple swipe is very strong. But and also I changed impale to be a T shape rather than a long shot. But these are, these are things that we can just roll back. That's something else. It's terrible. I mean, we're trying. We're trying. But I don't know. I'm weakening curse. I really like the ability to weakening curse several times with a smaller value, but we'll see. That may prove overpowered. But check out this this Millennium Falcon. Tome having no extra opportunism is a nice change from other debuffing attacks. And if an enemy has minus 50% resist, you don't really need opportunism. It's totally true. So like right now, if we come back to this, right? Uh-oh. Ooh, look at this. We broke something. Because it doesn't know how to render the tooltip for this. This skill effect, it is not happy with. We'll see if it works or if it crashes the game. That'll be the next thing. But so I changed Fire Thrower. I think this is a really interesting pattern that I haven't seen them use in the game. So this is it may be a 3 AP move. I think you might be right in Lustrous, but I liked the idea of Flamethrower, right? This is the same number of hits that it did before. It's just reallocated to be, I'm referring to this as like Flame Vortex or something like that, but the idea is that it is fixed at position 2 away. So there's only 4 places you can cast it. No, the other ones do. Like I can't cast Firebolt, but I get a tooltip for it, right? There's something about the current configuration of Lightning Bolt that I think is potentially game-crashingly busted, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so Axe Boomerang, it hits quite hard, and it hits a very awkward area. I think it still matches with the animation, but... And then that was the only change I made here, was adding Fire Thrower. I think at 5, this is a more interesting design. It does cannibalize Scorching Wave slightly. But I think it is interesting. All right, and this will be a great opportunity for us. No stuns. Oh, so there was Spiky Counter popping off. Why did that hit for 117? I don't know. All right, let's try Lightning Bolt, see if our game crashes. God, it's so awkward to try and find a good place to land a Lightning Bolt. There's something to be said, like, right? Because you want to hit these two. I don't know. Maybe like we could do this. Let's try this. Okay, so we should get 1 good propagate off of the guy in the lower left. Then we should get 2 propagates on that back rank. Let's try it out. It's hard to see what happened, but I actually think it did what we expected it to do. We're gonna have to figure out why the tooltip is missing. But I do think that it hit the right people. These down here, this group took very little damage because they only had 2 of the ancillary bolts landing, I think. But I don't know. Yeah, it looked like it worked correctly. Which is, you know, about all that we can ask for. Some point we're going to have to talk about Deathray. First rule of Deathray Fight Club is don't talk about Deathray Fight Club, though, I think. But so this character has Propagate 1, incidentally, I believe. I put the Brute Greaves on them, so they should have 1 extra Propagate bounce. So I was kind of thinking, I think it only hit these 2. I think the Propagate did not. Maybe Propagate 1 is the minimum you can have on a tooltip. So I think Propagate 1 changes a lot of things, though, if that's what we end up going for. So, like, here, the Ballista saved us a little bit of damage there and stopped these 2 guys in their tracks. That may be enough. But let's go back and take a look here. Okay, so we have a damage multiplier of 0.5. Let's try getting rid of this for now, because I don't know that that's working. Let's set the propagations to 1 here. And let's just reload and see if we can get a tooltip with this setup. This is the trial and error. Maybe surrounding effects can't propagate. It's possible. But I was thrilled that we could do contaminate. There's a new Ghostbusters movie coming out, Scorpion. I had not seen that. What's the idea? Let's import the data for magic weapons. I've already made the changes, so we can just do that. Save all. Export, do that. Delete that. Is it a sequel to the new Ghostbusters cast? There we go. I have updated it. So we'll see. The damage modifier might have been the funky bit. We'll see. Yeah, if there was an easy way to get this to reload on the fly, this stream would be significantly easier. But who needs easy, right? All right. Do we got a tooltip? No tooltip still. So actually, you notice check out the secondary effect here. It's not actually even putting a preview of damage on it. So there's something about secondary effects we don't understand yet. So let's take a break. Let's find another ability that has two. Yeah, like Stomp is a good example, right? Stomp has a surrounding effect in which it has a damage multiplier. So we already had, so you're saying because we took it out, was it showing that before? I don't remember. So under skill effect, hold on, I want to go back and look at this. So underneath, so this one, yeah, so underneath skill effect, we have surrounding effect. Oh, it did show before? Okay. All right, then let's just try reversing that one change. So we're going to have a damage multiplier of 0.5. I'm going to leave this at propagation count 1 because I want to see if it actually does anything. All right, let's load that in and we'll see. Import magic weapons. Save all, save yes. I think also change the area of effect of the attack. This might be causing the issue. What about the area effect of the attack? Are we 0, 1, 2? The origin is weird right now. We want an origin of 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh. So we have a non-square setup right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. Ah. Which might be okay, but it definitely means that 0, 1, 2, the Y origin should be 2. I think it can be displayed in the tooltip, but like, because we have, I mean, like, as an example, if I find the comical exception, like Deathray looks like this and it displays fine in the tooltip. So, you know, it is possible. So I don't think square is important because Deathray is definitely, oh man, my cursor is moving around. I'm in VS Code, but it still has my cursor captured. So I don't think square is super important because also we know that the fire thrower is working. Let's just see if the damage multiplier and then maybe propagate 0 might have been causing the issue. So we'll try this. There we go. All right. Shouldn't have been making those changes while we were in game, but yeah, I'm very impressed. I feel like the design of the game is very, very mod friendly. Like, it would not take much for them to be like, here's a directory. If you put a named XML file in there, we'll use yours rather than ours. And then we'd just be done, right? Like, this would be the easiest process ever then. All right, let's just see. First of all, so yes, okay. So now it is definitely hitting. So we'll do this one because we'll get a good look at both the primary and the secondary. Secondary did no propagates. Primary definitely did propagates. Let me take a look. Okay, so you're saying line 753. So propagation count, this is for the skill effect, right? This is the normal way that you do it. I mean, so here, let me find another example, right? Let's find weakening touch. See, so weakening touch, you have the skill action, which has a generic, which has a skill effect, which has the propagation for the skill action, right? So that needs to stay, I'm pretty sure, right? Because that's saying that the primary attack has a propagation count associated with it, right? And then what I'm saying is for the surrounding effect, I'm trying to give it also a propagation skill effect, I think. Let me look at that one more time. Where was it? Is it this one? This one? Yeah, it's this one. It might not be possible, but if that's the case, we'll have to go back to the drawing board. But I want to take a look at this again. So, skill action, generic, skill effect, propagation. Yeah, it might not be possible. That's why we're tweaking with it. Overall damage, malice effect. That's interesting. Okay, so I bet overall damage is total damage. That's not the important part of things. It might also be that the game is erroring because we don't have a propagate VFX element. That's a possibility. But yeah, if that's the case, then I think we have to stick with... I think we could go with 3. 3 standard lightning bolts that impact in like a weird non-equilateral triangle. Oh, is the tooltip still bugged? Yes. Yeah, so I think maybe secondary effects and that are bugged. So let's... Is surrounding effect the wrong nomenclature? Where's putrid ball when you need it? So it's a skill effect and then a surrounding effect. And the surrounding effect is nested directly under the skill effect. Skill effect with the surrounding effect nested right below it. Okay, so that looks correct. Yeah, so we'll have to put a pin in this. I love the idea of this. We could make these not propagate too, right? We could have a bunch of minor ones that just do some ancillary damage. But the idea, I kind of like the idea of going back to sort of first principles on this one. We'll ditch the surrounding effect. I think we leave it at propagate 2, but now we create like a weird triangle pattern. Now, we said before this isn't square at the moment. So let's square it off just so we can see. How about we make the lightning strike a 3x3 attack with propagation coming from the main attack like this. So it would be, so you're saying a diamond in the center with more non-propagating hits around it. Let's try it out. I'm down. Okay, so now the origin is going to be at 3, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. This is our center point where we're going to have an E. So you're saying do X, 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 X. And that's just going to be a... Oh, we need to bring back the surrounding one then. We need the surrounding effect now. There we go. And we're going to need a damage multiplier. Oh, wait. Oh, you wanted ease on the corner. Like this. That way the E's are forcing the propagates to be like choo, 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 choo. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Although it's possible that this is going to work slightly differently, but we will let's figure that out through science. And are we amping this up since these are non-propagating? Like maybe do like 1.25? Sure, let's try that. All right, let's see. So let's import. You will learn quickly enough that like right now at this phase in the game, I don't mind making things overly powerful. We don't have to get it right the first time. We just need to come up with interesting things. Hello? Okay, copy that here. But yeah, the fact that I can edit these mod files while the game is still open tells you everything you need to know about the fact that they're just loading it into RAM when the game first launches, and without some type of like dev console, we're not going to have it. You had it on the first version with the 4x hits with the right propagation. So you're saying you didn't want the corner E's? We'll try this, and then we can always swap it up. Okay, I've already replaced the game file, so we can just head back in. So I don't know about anyone else. I'm having a lot of fun with this stream. I hope that others are enjoying it. No, he meant like it worked 1 hour ago. So let's see. So let's check this out. So now, okay, now we have the pattern. Oh, we already used our lightning strike for this turn. I think the middle one shouldn't be... no, actually, maybe that works. It worked when you had 4 hits of lightning strike. The propagate worked. Yeah. No, I know it worked. Sorry, I'm getting confused now. I'm losing the thread. Probably gonna need to work on this one. Might be a little good. might be slightly good. Might need to work on that one. We should start thinking about what a good Deathray looks like. This is essentially the same as you had the first time, but with added secondary hits. Yes, with that, yes, it has added secondary hits, but hopefully those secondary hits are going to help to funnel the lightning bolts outward, because the issue that I had before was it was very hard to see if they worked. These secondary hits do not propagate, no, Zeal. So we've removed propagation from the secondary hits. We may not have a big enough mass of enemies right now to actually be able to see this work in action. Part of me that's like, for 6 mana, that feels pretty good if this is all it does, and hopefully it kills this guy up here too. We can test it. Oh, maybe that's why. Hold on. Does the tooltip... I think the propagate would be blue if it worked that way. I think it doesn't. I think the propagate would show up as blue. I like that the tooltip works though. That's you know, no small miracle. So the idea here of Putrid Ball is that it's not giving you a lot of poison, but you can kind of get access to an early contaminate, which I think it's a neat dynamic. Because I don't think that's overpowered, but maybe it can be convinced to be overpowered. But I think by the time you'd have enough skills for it to start to get really insane, you'd have the perks anyways, so it wouldn't be so transformative. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey Zakar, yes, that someone figured out mods and their name is me. Yeah, I mean, I watched some tutorials for generic Unity modding, and it wasn't too crazy, but yeah, we got some weird skills now that we're experimenting with. Deathray definitely feels like we need to figure out a better way for it to manifest. It's a little too everything on a side dies at the moment. All right, let's try another lightning bolt. So I'm gonna try it. So here's the thing, I want to try it here. And the thing that I want to test... Actually, wait. So yeah, so this... I want to see if this lightning bolt on the bottom paths down and to the right. Yeah, I have no idea. So AoE abilities in Lustrous don't hit bosses multiple times, I don't think. So that may not work. But my hope is, okay, so if this is working correctly, let's map this out. If this is working correctly, we're going to get a lightning strike on this guy and a lightning strike on this guy. This one should be forced to come up this way, and this one should be forced to go down this way. Let's see if it actually does that. All right, so we're going to put it here. Nope. See, so the secondary attacks do not force the propagate. Also, the fact that Anita lived is no small divine intervention. I love the shape of Fire Thrower now. I think it's so interesting. Should have procced Opportunism before I went any further on that. But yeah, so the propagate is not headed off by the ancillary lightning strikes, is what we just learned there. Which is okay. I want to make so my goal is not complete perfect balance. I think the game is very well balanced. I think people that enjoy the game, I'm not throwing shade their way. I though think that some of the skills are really boring. And that's the thing that I would like to fix, is I would like to make them more interesting. I'm also, you'll notice the other thing that I've changed here is ballistas now do no damage and stun. So I'm experimenting with ways to make defenses not feel so like, oh, 80% of my team's damage comes from ballistas, as an example. So that's another thing we are experimenting with. It does seem that way in Lustrous. Yeah, that's my... That makes a lot of sense to me. I think that's a fun ability. It's not hitting any more enemies, but it's hitting enemies in a way that no other skill does. I think that like little like dome shape is very cool. We could swap the primary and the secondary effect to test it. So the top propagate went downwards in the same direction, but was stopped by the enemy's depletion. I think so, yeah. Oh, wait, someone had a recommendation for the ray. Make the primary line 100% and then the sides 50%. Ooh, Garen, I like that idea. Let's try that out. Because now we know how to do this, right? Let's grab our surrounding effect. Head up to the Deathray. And then maybe we go E, 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 E. And then here. The surrounding effect does not get... It gets seated under something different. It gets seated under skill effects. Not seated. Like the place that it lives is. There we go. So yeah, so we'll try that, and then we'll make this 50%? 0.5. If I make it 50, it's gonna hit real hard. Okay, so yeah, so we'll change the Deathray up to look like that. I think that's an interesting idea. Oh, maybe we... Thank you. This is... Can every time I code, can we just all hang out? Because you're saving me so many like minor mistakes. Make the Deathray 3 wide with the edge rows secondary. Oh, so do like this type of thing. That's kind of an interesting idea. I love it, Garen Thor, honestly. Pair programming. We're doing the multi-person version of pair programming. This is like no stress for me. I just have, 20 people staring over my shoulder every time I make a minor edit type of thing. The secondary doesn't propagate Zeal. I think we've already validated that it doesn't, that only the primaries were propagating. We don't know how to do propagate. Now, if we're going to do this, and these are going to be half damage, is there a fun thing that we could put on as an effect there? You're a tech lead in my heart, Illustrious. You're a tech lead in my heart. Maybe we could add a skill effect here. That might be too much. Maybe we're just doing enough damage. We'll try this out. Now, let's see. Did we change anything with lightning? We haven't changed anything with lightning at the moment. It just kind of is what it is. If given that we're not like essentially blast shaping with the ease, I kind of want to try. I kind of want to go back to this idea that I had to experiment with, because I also think 4 strikes might be too many. So what if we do like, this is our center point. So what if we do like an X, an X, and an X. So something, maybe even an X here. So something that's like very oddly shaped. It's hard to get all 3 landing appropriately, but the benefit being, I think we would even go 3 propagation counts, is that if you get this, the scale up on it is bananas. I think there's something interesting here. We'll bring that in and we'll test it out. You just have to let this guy come in. Okay, let's yeah, I don't know what would happen if we left the surrounding effects. And we might bring them back, so I will acquiesce to adding a little bit of a comment there. Yeah. We'll do that. Cool. All right, and then we need to exit out. Now, what else do we change? We changed Deathray. And we changed Deathray to not be the ship from Austin Powers anymore, which I'm sad about. There is always the option, right? It's not too late. We could go with like 2 large circles here and here of ease. But we won't. We won't. All right, we'll get those. Let's get we only changed magic weapons, I think, here. Oh, okay, wait, actually, before we go any further, so I had one other idea for Deathray. We'll leave Grandpa out. I had the idea in the, hold on, if I bring up, where's my Firefox? Man, I have so many windows. In the original version that I set up, I think I listed Deathray. Where is Deathray? Over here. Oh yeah, taper down from 5. At one point, I had this listed as a zigzag. So the other thing we could do, if we wanted to, if there's a way to change the base propagation damage of a skill. I'm not sure. One thing that we could do is we could have, like, the concept that I was going for with this, just to throw this out. At one point I had it set up something like this, but I wasn't using secondaries because I hadn't learned yet, is I think that's only defined by the character. We could do something like this for the idea of like the ray snake, there being like a secondary thing that like snaked in a spiral pattern down the length of it. Yes, I believe propagation is hard-coded at 85, modifiable by character values. But yeah, so I had this idea of like having this like secondary spiraling thing going down, because it almost looks like that's the case. I did mess this up with my setup, but for now, let's leave it as the full thing. But I wanted to get some feedback on what people think of maybe having it zigzag down. So I've already made some changes to the rifle. I'll show them to you in the next night. Let's leave this way. Let's package it up. Hide my browser. Save that. Yes to that. Delete you. Copy you. Exactly, Illustrious. I think it's going to look really good with the sprite, because the sprite is kind of like this like single straight line with like a thing kind of spiraling around it, I feel like. But let's get that up and running. We can always try both and see what we like, right? This is the beauty of what we were doing. But yeah, that was what I was thinking in Lustrous is having it kind of alternate ease on either side type of thing. Could be really neat. All right, and we'll kill some time here. I'm just gonna run up like this and force this guy hopefully backwards, and then we can take a look at what the Deathray looks like. All right, so the new Deathray. That's a chunky boy. Now so at the moment, oh, wait, this is interesting. So at the moment, the base damage is 152 to 186, but the secondary damage is only 38 to 46 girth. Zeal, very nice. That is not, I wanted this to be half. I think it's because the 50% is happening, the halving is happening and then our stats are being added, so the scale factor is like way worse on the external pieces. So I think we need it to hit, we need the external pieces to hit harder. Didn't I set it to 25%? Please hold. Nope, it's set to 50%. 0.5 is the damage multiplier. I know it's really small, so I don't blame you. To balance the rate, maybe take away the modifiable with skills range, so you need to go to the enemy. Yep, we could definitely do that. We could ditch modifiable by range. Yeah, the damage multiplier is 2x on the base. Oh, yeah, you're right. And this one is 0.5. I assume that it was 0.5 off of this. So we make this 1.0 and then it will be half. Aha. Okay. Now I want to see what this other version looks like. So we're going to test out the spiral and see what we like. Cuz with the spiral, I think we could, I think I want it to bloom at the end, but I think with that we could do like 1.5. Let's try that. Okay, let's back out we go. I think there's something interesting here. And maybe get rid of that one. Oh, actually, hold on. I have this idea. We'll see it in game in a second. They have different syntaxes for damage multipliers. They do, yeah, and they appear not to be connected, and there's some type of weirdness. But yeah, this is the way that they did it elsewhere. There's a lot of this process that is just, if I can't find a sample of how they did it, it's very difficult for me to kind of like suss out exactly how things are supposed to be. But let's copy this here. So I had this idea while we were just talking through some random versions. Let's get back in. I think this could be kind of fun. And yeah, Zakar, I'm super excited. I think it was you who was talking about the rifle. Very excited to get some feedback on the rifle changes. But let's see. So there's something interesting about this, right? So it's a beam. It has this like spiral that goes around it, and then it ends in this T shape of kind of like full damage at the full fruition of the blast. And now we're legitimately doing half-ish damage. Or we're doing 75% damage on the blue parts and 100% damage on the rest. which I don't know, I kind of like. There's something kind of eldritch and arcane about this shape. I don't know what other people think, but I might tinker around with this for a night and just see how it plays and how it feels. And then our new lightning bolt, I think there's some kind of fun about that triangle. Like, it really forces you to find good targets. It's really hard to intuit, but it's like a lot of damage, and it makes lightning bolt scale disproportionately well on targets, which I think is kind of cool. All right, let's still getting those mountains. We probably need to build some mana wells. I'm feeling the burn here of wanting to test out all of our mana using skills. We'll use workers. I don't think we're in any great risk of losing out, but we are playing kind of fast and loose. Let's pick up some damage. I think we're gonna put down the axe. We only used axe boomerang once, but you know, I think it's kind of whatever. With the lightning target, it makes you able to target outside of your range, so that needs some changes. Oh yeah, let me check that out. We'll check that out when we get back in, but that is interesting. We could definitely reduce the range on lightning bolt to kind of like compensate for the fact that it's extremely weird. Let's see. Grab lone wolf. Then you're poison, but I think we're retiring poison. Maybe actually let's go axon. Full axes. Oh, you only have one arm. Dang it. Okay, I want to get the longbow out. Spear can take a nap for a minute here. Well, actually, maybe we go, what's like a full sniper build look like? We can put the magic staff there. We should get another hero. We're too broke to get another hero. Filled with regret. We can sell some items, maybe, in order to get the inn built at least. I probably shouldn't have sold that axe, but man, always when you don't need it. I really wish that I could come up with some way to change the crossbow. It's like, I think of all of the abilities, I think explosive bolt is probably the one that I would change if I was going to change one. But we're just going to build the inn so that next night we can pick up another hero so we can start testing more stuff. You could also change the origin point to the furthest hit. Yes, that would work too. I want to feel how bad the range feels right now, because I suspect that it's not going to feel that crazy, but very devious idea for Apoc 7. I need to get your setup running, but I think I might have something that changes the playstyle for the game a lot in a very fun way. The changes, I've taken a look at Apoc Zeal, and the changes you can make are a bit limited. Finally, a two-handed sword shows up. Oh, and it has propagation bounces on it. We haven't talked about the two-handed sword yet. This is, the two-handed sword is the whole reason I got into this in the first place. So the two-handed sword, who's gonna take the two-handed sword? Means we don't get the power staff. That's fine. So the two-handed sword. Boop. Previously, slash was just a 2 slots in front, and I changed it so that now it is the only base ability that for 2 AP has propagate associated with it. Now this hero has +2 propagation bounces. So normally it has propagation 1, but now it has propagation 3, which I think makes it pretty interesting as an ability. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm still soliciting ideas for the catapult. So there was a discussion of making the catapult. Yeah, I mean, just replace APOC 6, I think is fine, Zeal. But so we've got our ballistas doing stuns. I believe I can rename skill names in Lustrous, but I think that so if we look at the definition here, the skill definition has an ID. We can't change the ID. So that's fixed, that's hard coded, because that exists in the rest of the code. And I don't actually know where the pretty names for either skills or weapons live. We'll eventually find them. But like I have another file over here that you won't be able to see very easily. There we go. This is the weapons definition file, and I know you can't really see this, but like this is sword 0, sword 1, and then it has skill, slice, bash, and blade rush, which incidentally means that we could have one type of sword have a different ability if we wanted to. This is where we would change all of the stats that we get from particular gear sets, etc. But again, it doesn't have any of the pretty names. I think that's because the pretty names exist in the localization files. So that's where we would have to go looking for them. The catapult should be 60% stun and 3 turns of -3 movement. Both of those? Wow, that's a lot. I feel like 3 turns of -3 movement is already like super insane for the catapult. What if we used a secondary effect and we had the center have 100% chance for stun and then snare all of the people around it? What would you think of that as a possibility? There's exploding bone piles. There's the ballista tower skills. Oh wait, this is not the... Sorry, you can't see what I'm looking at. Please hold. Let me find it again. I think this is the one that we want to look at. Yeah, I could see, like, basically, I don't think it is overpowered for the catapult's central hit to guarantee a stun. I think that's extremely reasonable. What is this? Use Cauldron. Center fireball cross is 100% stun, and then the other tiles is movement. Yeah, we could do that. We could certainly try that. Because I think they're relatively... Wait. Oh, this is the improved catapult. Already has ease in places. Okay. So we'd have to improve the catapult, but yeah, let's try this out. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to do ease around the perimeter. So I was going to do... something like this, but I was going to go another one in. And you're saying keep the center all stun and make the rest movement. This is what I was thinking, was we put a stun on here for the skill effect. Let me go grab one. Do something like this. So, right, so we can do a 1.0. So this is a very, very likely to stun catapult. Make the improved one with the X. Yeah, that's a great idea. So let's see. But we need to finish this one up because we need a secondary. We need a secondary code block, the surrounding effect code block, if you will. Is going to need to be in here. And then the damage is going to be 0. Actually, I guess I can probably leave these and just make the damage multiplier 0. I think that's problematic though. I think I need to 0 out these because if I do it the other way, then I think there's like Fortress Master will potentially make it hit again. Yeah, so in Lustrous, that's what we're thinking for the improved catapult. I think it might be too strong to stun 5 and snare the rest. But now we need an example of snare malice. Where's the snare trap? Slow trap. Here we go. Debuff movement points. Here we go. Grab this. And then the surrounding effect is going to have that. And for the improved, just replace the E's with X's. I don't like defenses having no damage, but certainly reduced. Right now, I'm trying to balance around no damage, Zakar, but I'm open to the possibility that we switch things up in the future. So this one now, I think we're gonna grab this pattern. So rather than it being a square, which I think I have never used before, now we'll have the improved catapult stunning 5, like so. And then, oh wait, I put the stun in the wrong place here, didn't I? No, I put the stun in the right place. And the surrounding effect, we want 3 turns of -3 movement. And then down here, we're going to borrow the stun. No, wait, is that in the skill effect? Yeah, it's in the skill effect. So we go skill effect. We add the base stun. I wonder if we can go like 1.1. Make it even more likely to stun. And then I have no idea what Use Cauldron is. Literally none. So we'll grab the debuff in the surrounding effect. Now, I think, just to throw this out there, I feel like the stunned enemies should also get snared, right? So I'll also put the Malice debuff here as well. Because otherwise the stunned enemies are going to get stunned and then they're going to be like, all right, I'm good, I'm back. The Mana Well, but no, the Use Cauldron. Let me find it again here. The Use Cauldron has a area effect of the 10 tiles directly in front of the user. It has to have been for a specific, maybe like a map they were testing, possibly. Because like I mentioned before, there's also up here, there's Nuclear Barricade that does 1,000 damage in an X when it is destroyed, I believe. Yeah, I think it's definitely. Condition next to building, catapult next to building. Let's try this out. I also don't think I left us. We don't have enough materials to build the catapult, so we're gonna have to survive another night to get that going. Do we make any other changes? I don't think we did. So let's play a night, and then we'll check out our new catapults. Hold on, before I forget though, here's the buildings, import data, buildings, save and apply, save. And then... Oh yeah, and we wanted, we were talking about making Axe Swing, our Axe Boomerang, a 3 AP, because I made it pretty ridiculous. So let's do that while I'm thinking about it. There we go. I think that's a very reasonable change. I'm not trying to make Axe Boomerang the greatest ability that has ever lived. Oh, it's like hot oil being poured over the wall. That makes perfect sense with the design. I actually really like that idea. Maybe we should try and resurrect it. That would be a fun thing to do as well. Okay, let's reload the game. Make sure that we didn't break anything. What I have found that especially some of the funky stuff I do with buildings has had some issues. So hopefully we don't lose our save. All right, it's loading, so that's good. And then we'll build ourselves some catapults just to see what they look like. But let's do the thing. Oh, we got level ups to do. That's a thing that we need to do. You're a weird one. A little bit of stun is fine. Take some damage. Sadist is fine. Show me propagation bounces over here. I want to make you a monster. Propagation damage seems good. Take some movement. We have extra trinkets, I'm pretty sure. No, we don't. I'm collecting a lot of gear that I'm not using, but that's okay. All right.